All right, so this is my turn now. So who here needs to stand up and shake? Come on, stand up and shake. Get up. You've just been sitting there listening to awesome stuff. You got to just move around for a second. Yeah. Just stretch. Back in black. All right. So what I'm going to talk about right now is something that I had no idea was going to come up with our conversation with Kirsty, but I'm so thankful it did. One of the things that I have an absolute privilege to do is work with thousands of really good-looking people like you. And but I get to actually see what you're doing. And I mean it from a high-level view. And the one thing that I see happening that so many of you are not doing is making a plan. And you heard it right there. Someone who's not doing, maybe doing 20% of what she could be doing, but she's killing it because she's focused on a plan. So yeah, there's lots of other things. She could be doing Facebook ads. She could be doing all these other things, but she's just focusing on what's important to her. So who here would like to, in the next 20 minutes, figure out how to make a one-year plan that's going to make you kick ass in 1 year? This is really easy. I promise you. It's like, to me, it flows in my mind. It's made a huge difference in my life. And I give this so much credit for not only allowing me to back my time off every day, hiring amazing people, but enjoying my life much more than I ever have. I'm in a position in my life where I'm in shock, in awe. And I know that it's because I got focused, I surrounded myself with great people, and I just stuck to my guns. I didn't back up, no plan B, and I just worked hard, but I focused on this. This works. You just heard from Kirsty herself that this works. I don't have big magic markers, and I'm disappointed. So let's pretend, check. So what I want to talk about is something really quick. It's about building a one-year plan, and it's really small, so I don't know if they can zoom in. I guess they can't. Having a one-year high-level plan, creating 90-day goals to get to those plans, and 2 weeks tasks to get to those 90-day goals. And I know this might sound, what are you talking about? Trust me, by the end of this, you're going to get it. The big thing here is just focus on Amazon. Right now, just focus on Amazon. I know we talked about you can get off of Amazon, but if you're not making at least $20,000 a month in Amazon, why are you focusing on anything else? Focus just on building your Amazon business. Don't get distracted. And don't worry, this plan can be updated. The idea is you just want to set yourself something that you can see, and it's so easy to do. But you set yourself on a target, and as you're getting closer, that's what the 90 days is. It's kind of like, if that's my target, I'm going to go to here, and then I'm going to stop and measure. Because the last thing you want to do is be going this direction. You want to make sure you know your target, and you're walking towards it. And that's why these things work together. Because if you're doing a one-year plan and you're just thinking that, oh, now I'm just going to do tasks to get me to that one-year plan, you could be walking like this when your target's over there. So you want to make sure you have a one-year high-level plan. Then every 90 days, look at what goals you can achieve that'll get you closer. This is for you not to try to impress people. Don't do things that you don't believe you're going to achieve. It has to be believable for you, and it has to be specific. When you're putting goals in, don't say, I want $1 million. Well, that's not a specific plan. That's not a specific goal. That's just a generic statement, in my opinion. Don't overcomplicate this, and you're going to see how easy it is. And this is to help bring focus and clarity to your business, bringing first things first. And I'm sure you guys have seen this analogy before, but it's the whole idea. Wow, this is really cool. So it's the whole idea when you're going in life, you've got your things. Thank you very much, Ali. But you've got your daily things that are just those daily things that get in your way. You've got your emails, you got, all of those things that get in your way. And then you've got the kind of important things like the customer support. Well, actually, customer support's more like these. But you've got those everyday distractions that are important, but not your priority. And then you've got your core things. These are your core things. And the cool thing is, if you sit there in life, I hope this works because I've never used this thing before. And you're being distracted by Facebook, you're getting on email, you're answering your cell phone, and at the beginning of the day, you're just focusing on all this stuff that's not getting you anywhere. So there, your day's half done now, you've got that much done. So then all of a sudden, you decide, Now I'll try to fit in everything else. Whoa, nothing even fits. So now it's like you've got no core things done whatsoever. So now, yeah, this ain't gonna work. Let's just do it. Just so you know, these are all diamonds. All right. Help. As long as I'm getting laughter, it's okay. Oh, and by the way, as I'm doing this and spilling, I want to shout out to Matt for letting me hang up here with my thing all messed up and not telling me. And the funny thing is, my wife says to me, "Oh my God, it was so funny. Matt was looking at you smiling, making sure his was okay." All right. So now let's try this a different way. So now you take your three important things. Let's just, I don't know if I can put more. You take your important things every day. Then you take the next important things. Yeah, it's probably not going to work still. And then, oh, it's working. So who's getting the idea? Yeah. Now, the reason I shared that is because that really meant something to me the first time I saw it, and it was so logical because it's so true. I mean, I wake up in the morning, what's the first thing I want to do? My stats. Who can say that? But then who does this? Refresh, refresh. And then what do? You go to your email that you just checked 5 minutes ago. Who's done that? And then realize, oh, now I'll go back to Facebook, and then by default, for some reason, just open up your email again, even though you're just there. I mean, it's because you're just spinning your wheels. You're like, you got this excitement. You want to be over here, and you're not there yet, so you're anxious. That's what this is going to help with. So what's a plan? It's specific. That means that when you say specific, what I'm talking about is it needs to be something that when you achieve it, you know what it is. So you know exactly what it is when you achieved it because it's detailed out. It's high level, it's a big picture, and it's believable. And important right now, just focus on Amazon. Again, unless you're already killing it with Amazon, just focus on Amazon. So here's an example. We heard that beautiful $1 million example. This is what Kirsty did. And this is what I did. This is the exact thing I did when I was able to go to 100 grand a month in 4 months. As I took $1 million, I said, I want to earn $1 million in my physical products business on Amazon. I figured out, at the time I was only selling one product, and at that time it was a $27 product, so that's what I based it on. But we're going to use, for this example, say you're selling an average of $20 for your product. That means in 1 year you're going to have to sell 50,000 units, which sounds kind of big, until you break it down to a daily thing. So then if you break that down, you realize, okay, that's only 137 units a day. That doesn't sound that bad. I think I can do that. So what you're doing here by breaking this down is now all of a sudden you figure out, okay, what's the money I want to earn? What does that mean with my current setup that I would have to sell? What does that break down daily to look like if I achieve that? And then there's your plan. Bang, that's it. It doesn't need to be overcomplicated. You're simply just making a plan. My plan is I want to be selling at least 137 units a day, generating a minimum of $2,740 a day. So in 1 year, that's going to be pretty darn clear if I've achieved that or not, wouldn't you say? So now that you have your plan, and it's really this simple, I promise you, you want to move to your 90-day goal. So you've got your plan and Jason. Your 90-day goals and for my dad. Come on, that was funny. So you got it, like you're dealing with your whole year, but the idea is a 90-day goal again. You're just doing little sections. So what goals, and I recommend 1 to 5. And the thing is, if you can only have one goal right now, awesome. That just means that at least you got one thing you're focusing on every day that's your top priority. But again, these 90-day goals, specific, but the big thing here is when you achieve it, it has an immediate impact when achieved. So you know for a fact that once that goal is achieved, it's made an immediate impact on your business. Something has changed in your business for the benefit, and it's moving you towards your plan. But here's a big thing, and you heard this, you heard it from Ryan, you heard Kirsty talk about it. You need to track your numbers. You need to be looking at your conversion rate. If you haven't done it yet, go into Module 7 of ASM and look at the BizStats lessons. Those things will show you how to look at Amazon's confusing BizStats and at least make sense of it. Because if you're not tracking your stuff every day, how are you going to grow? If you don't know where you are right now, how are you going to go somewhere else? You don't even know where you are. You're just winging it. You got to at least know your numbers. And to me, it's really simple. Like if you just know even sales and traffic right now, that's awesome. But I would look at what are the main keywords you're going for. Go check your ranking on that. Know your daily sales, know your daily conversions, and a huge one is always know your Amazon provided scores. That's a big number because you don't want to mess with Amazon. Amazon will lose nothing if they lose you as a seller because people are just going to buy someone else's product. So never get into a mindset that you're invincible on Amazon. That's a terrible, terrible mindset because Amazon really doesn't care. I guarantee you, no matter what product you have, if you stop selling it, Amazon's not going to lose money because someone else is going to sell the product. It doesn't matter, so always keep Amazon happy. But know at least your sales conversions, keyword rankings on Amazon, and your Amazon scores. So here's an example. So let's say right now I did an assessment and I'm currently selling about 3 units a day, getting on average about 30 visitors a day. So my first thing that I want to do is I'm thinking, okay, in 90 days, what would that mean? What would be a realistic, and feel free to use these. If you want to use these, that's why I created them. I hope people use all of these, and I hope these help them become millionaires because these are things that I would seriously do if this was me starting over again. So right now I know in the next 90 days, I want to be able to increase my traffic to 200 visitors a day, and I put this on Amazon because again, I want to make sure I'm focused, with a minimum of a 10% conversion. Now the reason why you got to understand the conversion rate, because think of this, if you're making 137 sales a day and your conversion rate's 10%, that means how much traffic? You're going to have to send 1,400 visitors a day to that listing to make those sales. That's a lot of traffic. So if you're looking at your traffic now and you're getting 30 and you're like, but I want to be a millionaire, well, right away you should know, okay, there's a focus. So people that sit there and don't focus on traffic, that's part of the problem. That's why you're not succeeding, because you don't even know where you need to get the help. A customer support position hired with a detailed job description. Start getting your head out of the business and working on the business. I know it's fun and it is exciting at first and you have to do it yourself at first, but document everything as you're going along the way and write out detailed job descriptions, because then when it comes to that point, you can just hire someone, get that off your plate, now you can focus. Look, if you're not doing customer support, maybe I'll try this new traffic strategy. It frees you up to grow your business. Then a second product fully flushed out and ready for the first inventory order. Because this is a reality. I might be able to, with my product, get to the $1 million a year, but I might not. So why don't I also make priority to flush out another product, so if after I receive this, if I can't achieve it or if I do achieve it, I'll be able to make a judgment call if I should add another product at that time, but I'll have it all flushed out and ready. So a big thing here though is include target dates. So think of just 3 things. So again, you've got your plan, and ideally 3 things. That seems to be the magic number that people tell me, but for me, I always just pick 3. You can do as many as 5, but make sure at least 1. And make them something, again, that's specific. Each one of these, I will know beyond a shadow of a doubt if I've achieved them. Include dates, and the reason for that is don't just get lazy and say, oh, at the end of 90 days, I'm doing this. No, you want to do more goals. If I can get this done, if all of a sudden I'm achieving 200 visitors in a month, why would I sit there and do no other goals? I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to change that now. In the next 60 days, because I did this in 30 days, I want to make 500 visitors. So it's always fluid. The only thing is make educated moves. Don't just wing it and say, nah, I want to change this one. Make sure you're testing things, going along the route, and then if something logically needs to be changed, like if my goal was here and I didn't see this coach, well, I have 2 options now. Stop, or I have to make another plan. I have to adjust. Okay, I'll have to go around that way. That's like business. Roadblocks are going to come. You'll have to adjust. That's fine. Your plan is in stone. It's just a guide. Keep good notes. Again, so powerful. If you what I say here, for each goal, because when you achieve that goal and you just say, cool, moving on, and you're not keeping documentation, how do you know how you did it? I want to keep notes for every one of these, because you know what? I want to get more traffic in that. So I want to rehearse what I went through, all the things I did, what worked and didn't work, so now when I make my new plan, I'll know what to do. I want to see the process I use for hiring that customer support. Look at all the notes, because I might have had some issues with it, so I want to learn from that. And again, the second product, just always be looking and tweaking and making it better. So keep good documentation. So then you've got your 3 90-day goals. So now what you want to do is you need to work in 2-week increments. And here's the idea. Improve plus measure equals inevitable success. And it's so true. How can you not inevitably succeed at something if you're constantly improving it and measuring to ensure it's an improvement? So the idea is you need to be measuring all the time. So as you can see here, we have a 90-day goal, and then in 90 days we create new goals. Here we're working in 2-week periods. So everything's always shrinking, and as it shrinks, it gets more specific and detailed. But the idea here again as well is what specific tasks can you accomplish in the next 2-week period that'll get you closer to your goal. But if it takes you 1 day to do it, don't just sit there and say, yep, I'm done. Nothing else for the next 2 weeks. No, create another task. But remember, something that you need to know is that these are tasks you are committed doing first each day. So be aware of your time commitment. If we can go back to this, that's the idea. It's not that you don't take care of all the other stuff. You still have to. The thing is, though, these are the 3 things every day that you know is going to grow your business. This stuff will maintain it. This stuff is just running a business. This stuff is growing a business. And this is the stuff you want to do first. That doesn't mean it's going to take all day. That's why you break it down into 2-week sections. You break it down so that you know, okay, so I've got this big goal. What's the first thing I have to do? So you start thinking, okay, so this has to be done in the next 14 days, so it can be done in a day or 2 weeks. They have to be specific, and they're tasks. When I did this training originally with the Amazing Profit Monthly magazine, I did something similar to this, and one of the questions that came up, well, not questions, one of the examples, the person said, I want to make $1 million, and then like their 2-week task is to make 5,000. That's not a task. That's another goal. I wish it was a task. I want to make 5,000, done. You know, that would be pretty sweet, but that's not. Like, you have to actually do something to generate that income. So these are all task specific, like I need to create a Facebook page or, you know, something like that where it's very specific. I'm doing good on time, cool. So for a task example, if my goal is 200 visitors a day, so what I want to do then is I want to brainstorm every single thing I need to do to achieve that goal of 200 visitors a day. And here's the thing, if you don't have a clue what to do, that's your first task. You've got a task, is to find out what are the things I need to do to get 200 visitors a day. And you know what? Look around. You have 3,000 people you can ask right now. So don't make excuses that you don't know. Take ownership. You're a friggin' rock star. You'll figure it out, I promise you. That's right. Make a list, and don't just say, I'm gonna make 3 things. Like, make a list, a huge list. Like, write down as many things as you can, and then prioritize those, because then what you wanna do, once you have that list, the idea is you wanna fit those tasks to flow with each other. So when you look at this whole thing, you say, okay, I've got a plan, selling at least 137 units per day, generating at least that much money a day, which equals out to about $1 million business. My goals, I have ABC goals. There they are. I even went in more detail on here because I want to make them as specific as possible. So I said 200 visitors a day on Amazon with a minimum conversion rate of 10%, meaning 1 in 10 sales. So I broke things really down. Then you take each goal and you make specific tasks that flow with each other to get that goal achieved. So what my challenge is for you is this weekend, you're going to be learning a boatload of stuff. Who here has already learned some cool stuff? All right, cool. So what I challenge you to do is when you leave this place on Sunday, yeah. Just don't miss Richard Branson, please. Is I want you to take action on this. What I challenge you to do, and believe me, I promise you, if you just do this and focus on it, it's going to make a huge difference. Create yourself a clearly defined 1-year plan for your Amazon business. Look at exactly where you are now, where you believe you can be. Break it down to a daily goal. Because that excites you so much, because all of a sudden you're going to do a promotion and you're going to hit that goal before it's a regular routine thing. It's going to excite. You get so excited. It's unbelievable. It just builds energy. It gets you more focused. And that way, by breaking it down to a day, it just becomes something more attainable. After this weekend, you're gonna wanna create your updated list of goals and create 90-day goals. So in the next 90 days, what are the things you are gonna get done, the top 3 things that will get you to your plan? Then, for each goal, create a list of tasks that can be done in 2 weeks. And remember, if it's done before 2 weeks, do another one. Don't sit there and say, oh, I don't have to do another task for another week and a half. No, yes, you do. The idea is you're prioritizing so that every day when you sit down at your desk, you're not sitting there saying, oh, what do I do now? This is so confusing, what should I focus on? You already know. You know the 3 things you're gonna focus on that day. And if it takes you an hour, great. Now you can go and do those other things, check your emails, do all that other stuff. By taking the first hour every day and focusing on these, your business is gonna explode. But this is something really important and really wish I had, oh, yay. So when you're starting a business, what's the first thing you need to do? You make a commitment. And once you make that commitment, what happens? You get scared. You get real scared. Why? Because you don't know what the hell's going on. You don't know anything. You don't know what you don't know. And so what's happening is you have no clue what to do. But this is normal. Everybody, me, Matt, everybody in this room, Robert Kiyosaki, I guarantee you, everybody went through this. Because once you make that commitment, you need to take courage. This is your job right now. You gotta, as I said before, you gotta put your big boy pants on. You've got to suck it up and realize, okay, I made this commitment, I'm gonna do this. It's gonna be hard, but I'm gonna do this. I'm a rock star, I can do this. Once you're doing that, what happens is you start to get competence. As you do this more, as you do these goals, you start achieving those goals. All of a sudden you're like, yeah, I'm getting pretty good at this. And then what happens, you start making bigger goals, because all of a sudden now you've got this huge confidence. It's like, I know any goal I'll set, I'll achieve. So why am I doubting myself and not putting bigger numbers up here? This is what happens when you start setting small goals, going through this process, you start to gain a lot of courage, you get competent, and suddenly you have this confidence that you can, you'll never be afraid of being in your own business again. And in fact, your fear will be, anything but that, because you know that no matter what, I have no doubt and this is something that my wife and I talk about a lot because she's amazed by it. I have zero fear of losing money. I know for a fact if I was completely wiped out for whatever, I'd start a new business, no problem. I have no fear because I know what I'm doing. I think that deserves, yeah. But I can also tell you something very truthfully. 5 years ago, I was scared to death. And in fact, it was my wife who convinced me to start reaching out and networking with people. And because of that, my world was open. So on that point too, remember, networking is so huge. But one thing that I think a lot of people struggle with, and I talked about this before, and this is my last thing here, and we'll have a couple minutes for questions if you have any. This is my bonus thought by Jason. And just in case you weren't sure. So ask yourself this right now. How do you get your customer to buy again? Who's asked himself that? Cool. Nobody, that's awesome. No, it is awesome because I want to teach something here, so that's cool. So think about this. If I want to get someone to buy again, what's the first thing you have to do? Well, you have to get them to buy the first time, obviously. And to get them to buy the first time, what do you have to do? Now, and this is a serious exercise I want you guys to all do. So you just start listing things. Put yourself in the buyer's position. What are the things that they would need to do to make me buy this product? Well, first of all, they'd have to have a good product. Second of all, if I go buy the product, they better have a fast checkout. They better have a clear sales funnel. Clear sales. They better have kick-ass customer support, because if I got a question before I buy, they better give me good customer support, and it better be fast customer support. So you start asking yourself, what are all the things? You start, your mind starts going, and then it's like, okay, I've got my customer now. Well, now, what could you do to get that customer to buy again? And I don't mean your one product. Like, ideally, you want them to buy the same product. Well, not ideally. Obviously, they could buy the same product, but maybe you have other products. So what are the things that you need to do to get them to buy again? Well, what's the first thing? Well, obviously, you better have a good product. So if you got a crap product, well, you're in trouble. I recommend starting over. Second thing, you better give, again, good customer support. All logical things. Again, you need to have fast customer support. But what else? Well, you have to get the offer in front of them again. How many people don't do that? Almost everybody. And why is it that Coca-Cola and Budweiser and cigarette manufacturers that know people are addicted to them still advertise? Because they want repeat customers. They know that if they don't put their sign up, if Coke knows they're not going to put the sign up, they know it's going to be plastered with Pepsi. People forget. People are shallow. It's not what you did for me, it's what you're doing for me right now. And if you're not reminding them and putting a message in their face of what you're doing for them now and giving them a reason to engage with you and do something, you're losing them. You don't want to lose your customers that you've worked so hard for. You need to foster. You heard Kirsty say, engage. How are you engaging with them? Like who thanks people that give a good customer feedback? Who's ever just responded to customers? That's huge. If I sat there up on Facebook, on Amazon, and I gave like a detailed feedback, I'm not talking about a review, I'm talking about detailed feedback saying, this is a great shopper, thank you so much for doing this, you're a great product to buy from. Why would it not hurt to say thank you? Why would you not give them a personal message saying thank you? Now you've just engaged with them, they know there's a real person with them, chances are they're gonna remember that. It's a simple thing by engaging. What is something else that you can do? You got to go back where they are. And you keep creating a list. You just keep thinking, what could they do to make me buy it? Because you know, some products, I mean, like that lamp. You know, you buy the lamp once, you're bought. Well, no, you're not. If I bought that lamp, obviously there's other products. So to buy them again, I have to have something to offer. Who has something else to offer? So you're just constantly asking. You know what's super powerful to do? And this is a challenge I give everybody as well. Find 2 other people and sit down and take 20 minutes and look at each other's listing and then go through this and ask yourselves questions. When me and Matt first started working together, we came to Las Vegas and we sat in a room with 4 of us. I was doing about $15,000 at that time. And we ripped apart each other's listings and we did these things. We talked about exactly everything we're doing and just started asking questions. Every one of those 4 people that were there went on within a couple of months to be making a killing, and I know one of them is doing multiple $1 million a month right now. It's huge because you want other people to see it, but it's these questions you've got to ask. And the last thing I want to talk to you about is the idea when you're asking questions, listening. Now, I know listening, it might sound so simple, but it's huge. What is the act of listening? It's not hearing. To me, what's listening, and makes 3 parts with listening. The first thing is you need a sound to hear, a noise. The second thing is you need it to relate to you. And the third thing is you need to respond. So my daughter, Gail, she's now almost 18 years old, blows me away, but when she was 3 years old, she got in trouble for something. I don't remember what it was, but I sent her to her room and I thought, oh man, I am gonna be the dad of the year. I sat down and I thought of exactly what I was going to talk to her about to tell her what she did wrong. I went in the room, you know, I'm proud as a peacock. Your dad's going to school you, I'm thinking. I sat down, I started talking to her as loving as I can, and I'm looking at her, I'm thinking, oh, I'm a hero. I am the best dad ever. This girl is hearing every word I hear. And I just felt like I was getting through. And as I looked at her cute little face with this utter pride, and I looked at her and I said, Gail, I said, do you understand what I mean? She looked at me and said, Daddy, would you like to smell my feet? So the question is, was she listening? Yes. And that's the thing, we say, oh, nobody listens to me. No, that's not it. You're just not communicating to them right. They're choosing to respond in a different way. They heard you. You were talking nonsense. No 3-year-old cared about what I was saying. What was I thinking? I wasn't talking to a 3-year-old. I was talking to a 23-year-old at the time. 26-year-old. So when it's listening, what I mean by that is with your business, ask yourself questions and then listen to the answers you're giving. And when I say listen, I'm talking about respond to that. Ask yourself a question, relate it to your current situation, and then respond. Take action. If you're just hearing noise and not doing anything, you're not listening to anything. You need to listen to your business. You hear people up here already talking. They make minor tweaks. They're always watching things. They're making minor tweaks. The only way they can do that is listen. Figuring out what's going on around them. And listening isn't just sounds, especially with the internet. Listening is just looking at something, relating it, and then responding. Listening is absolutely huge. So do yourself a favor, ask yourself these questions, make a huge list of everything, and then these lists are what can become your goals and your tasks. Figure out of these, group them together into categories. So for example, one of them might be customer support. And start making goals and tasks related on this, and I promise in 1 year you are gonna have one heck of a successful business. So I've got 3 minutes. Is there anybody that has any question? I mean, I think it was pretty clear. All right, cool. I got it. Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah.
John Slingsby, Portland, Oregon. I want to just thank you first off for going through that. And my question is, it was kind of going by so fast. Is there any way that we could actually get somehow get that written down so we could actually have it?
So what I'll do for everyone is I'll make sure we're going on break, I believe. I'll get these all taken pictures of, and then I think I can post them in the Yap app, but we'll get them to you. So, yeah. Can you take care of that?
Hi, my name is Miranda. This question kind of goes back to Kirsty mentioned it, and you mentioned it too, customer engagement. Obviously, when you do a sale on Amazon, Amazon's not sharing with you your customer email, phone number, and so forth. So you want to do that customer engagement. How do you get that information to be able to directly contact your customer? Yeah,
you have to be very careful. Good question. So Amazon itself has some really particular rules about engaging with the customers. And one of the, no, you can go back if you want. Yeah, no, that's fine. So they have a lot of rules. And so the one thing they said, if you're going to talk with them, it can only be about making sure the buying experience they had is better. So what you have to do then is figure out how to get them off of Amazon. And that's again where we talk about inserts and everything. But you can engage with them on Amazon. You can respond to reviews, you can respond to feedback, and just let them know there's someone there. So even just start with that. In fact, David, where's David here? David, could you just stand up real quick? Yep, I'm looking at you, buddy, right there. He just started doing that. That's all he started doing was engaging by responding to reviews and doing one thing. He's focused on that and the alliance, and he went from, what was it, from 15,000 to 30,000 a month now, isn't it? Yeah, so he's more than doubled his business just by doing that little bit of engagement. So it's huge. Yeah.
On the tools, for the promotion tools, I know that there's the setup for the emails that get sent out after the customer places an order. So you can do like 1 email, 2 emails.
Could you talk in the mic, actually?
Oh, 1 email, 2 emails, or 3 emails. Are you able to put any information in those emails that they get after they've placed an order?
One of the things too that we're going through is Amazon's always evolving. So yes, you can. The whole idea of those emails is engagement. The idea is we want you to communicate with them, but pull them back into the membership and make sure like they're giving you feedback. You can do that, but you can't promote anything in those emails. You can never, like, I recommend you don't do any marketing in those emails. Just make sure they're happy with their product and that, hopefully you can get some feedback from them, but leave it at that. Okay. You don't want to mess with Amazon. That's my opinion.
I'm just curious.
So I hope that helped. But the big thing is, like, you want to be able to engage them through, like, inserts are huge. Make sure you have a website, people, and when you have a website, make it as, and again, like these kind of things, those goals, make it as easy as possible for them to be able to sign up and communicate with you.
So inserts would probably be the best way to go.
Inserts are very effective. Yeah, because then you can tell them, come to this web page and get a 20% off coupon, and you'll start building a huge mailing list.
Okay, great.
You're welcome. I got one more question. I'm sorry, guys. You can come ask me the questions after, though, but I'm sorry.
Hi, thank you for the lesson. My name is...
Could you talk in the mic? I'm sorry. I know you hate it.
I'm Kahina from Montreal,
very nice.
And thank you for it's very
Montreal.
Actually, it's minus 30 degrees there, so now we're like, oh, it's summer. And my question is related to when they talk about landing in the first page, you know, with the keyword. I'm ASM4, so I'm completely new to this. When we land in the first page, let's say we'll be the first one with the keyword ranking. When you say we relate to the buyers, to people who shop on Amazon, me personally, if I go there and I find the product I want to sell, and it's, let's say, $30, and then what makes us believe that because it's in the first page, then we have a better conversion rate? Maybe we go just to the second one, and he has more reviews, and he's...
Absolutely. So there's a couple things here. First of all, I'm not 100% sure how Amazon does the keyword rankings. You've tried different things. They have lots of different variables. It's kind of like the 80-20 rule. Like if you put it in your title and nobody else has it in a title, you'll be the first one ranked, more or less. But then it takes into account conversion, sales, all those things. But I'm below people that are selling more than me on certain things. The idea with the keywords is it's not based on like the number one person isn't necessarily the best selling in that keyword ranking. It's just they're the most optimized towards Amazon, plus are selling well, that it ranks them there. So it's like a combination of things. It's not a proven metric for anything. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but my question actually, like me personally as a shopper, I would go and see like the best quality, like value, like the product and the price. So let's say if I have a competitor that can make it maybe $5 less expensive than mine, maybe he could get all the customers. Like, what make us believe that?
No, and see, actually, that's a great question. So I've got to hurry here, but really quickly, what happens with Amazon is they're not eBay shoppers. They're not looking for the cheapest product. Number one, like what people, you know, when you look at it, for example, your keyword rankings, if we just want to talk about that, Amazon only allows 18 characters. So this is, 18 words. So this is something I recommend everyone do. Okay, let me back up. This will answer your question. I know I'm probably frustrating you right now. Cyber Monday, 60% of all Amazon user activity mobile-based. 60%. Now, if you have a long-ass title with 250 characters, look at how that looks on your mobile. It looks terrible. Focus on customers. Make sure that the wording you're putting in your title, in those 18 words, gets their attention. Make sure your image is better than the competitors. Look at what the competitors are doing. If they see ... in the title, if your title's still too long, make sure you adjust your title so your best words are those first 18 words. Make it so that they don't even care what the price is. Your picture and title are so compelling that I'm going to click on your ad. That's what's going to get you better results. Not worrying so much about what your ranking is, but why your ranking's what it is. And so what you want to do is optimize. If you know you're getting traffic from here, look at what the competitors are doing, figure what your listing looks like, and then make it better. And then start thinking, this is the listening thing. This is exactly what I'm talking about, is that if you're listening to the market, you know where your traffic's coming from. So then you know, well, I better look to see what my listing looks like for that traffic. So then you look in the keyword rankings, you look in on Amazon, you look at what your listing looks like, and you start tweaking it and making sure it looks better, making sure it actually stands out from the crowd, and they'll click on it. Does that kind of answer? I mean, I feel like it's a hard question what you're asking, because the reality is people aren't buying for price. Not that they don't. I mean, oftentimes someone does.
Let's say, like when you say, like, you should not be afraid of competition, like you can have the exact same product with your own brand, but what makes people go buy yours and not the other one who is cheaper, because the other one is more developed and he's not young as you, like he's not new to the business, so he can afford to play with, you know, the prices.
Yeah, but with Amazon, it's level playing field. To me, like, get the idea of competition out of your head. I think it was Haroon, and I don't know if he's here right now. He said when he joined last March, his goal was to go for the toughest product in Amazon. Within 3 months, he was at like 50 grand. I mean, that's the idea. Like, it's a level playing field. And I hope, Haroon, if you're here, you know, come and see me again, because I'd love to talk to you and see how things are going. But yeah, don't worry about competition. You're welcome. All right. Sorry.
Give it up for Jason.